Salutare, dragilor, sunt Mihai Daniel, bun venit pe canalul meu. Astăzi am alături de mine un invitat special pe Moha de la MetaCourt. Va fi un interviu în limba engleză. Voi încerca să traduc pe alocuri, o să cer voie interlocutorului meu să-mi permită lucrul ăsta. Dar suntem o nație de oameni inteligenți și sunt sigur că cei mai mulți dintre voi vor înțelege despre ce e vorba. Moha, thank you for this interview. I did a short introduction in Romanian language, and I will ask you from time to time, allow me also to translate. You know, it's better.
Yes.
The important things. So, my first question it is, who are you?
Okay, I am Moha Askari. I am originally Persian, Iranian, but within last decade, I was working and studying in EU mainly. I did my bachelor in law, but my LLM in information technology law, and also I did my PhD in law science and technology in University Bologna, Italy, and University Tilburg, Netherlands. I also worked on a research project, mainly funded by European Commission, on emerging technologies and law, and also I have worked as university adjunct professor on blockchain and law, and also I was a crypto lawyer. So that was what I was doing before, and now it turns out that I like entrepreneurship and cryptopreneurship more, and here I am, founder of MetaCourt, together with Melissa, Oliver, and Dusan.
Okay, so I will translate to Romanian people. Este un tânăr avocat, a lucrat și a predat la universitate despre blockchain și despre criptomonede, iar acum vă povestim despre proiectul pe care l-a creat. My next question it is, what it is MetaCourt? And the following question will be, why?
Okay. MetaCourt is first legal metaverse that has A to Z of services, legal services that crypto users need regarding Web3 and law. It's from like agreements, it's like a smart contracts, it's dispute resolution, it's expert panel, mediation, or everything about like Web3 legal stuff. And why? Why? Because as you know, disputes around Web3 and NFTs are rising with the ecosystem growth. Everyone is saying that there are a lot of metaverses coming, there are a lot of NFT projects, and there are a lot of investment and money coming into Web3 project. But every user wants to have a safe journey in Web3, and we believe that the MetaCourt and what MetaCourt is going to do as a first legal metaverse and ecosystem for legal needs of Web3 is a solution for the people who want to have a safe journey in Web3.
That is really big and a lot of fields of needs, because now, you know, we had like the most difficult year in the history of financial last year, with more than 10 billion lost in the crypto market. So except of regulation from governments, we need like human regulation and human tools.
We need decentralized justice. If we had decentralized justice and real DeFi with real decentralized justice governance, we were not facing FTX or whatever. At the time before, we were saying like Lex Mercatoria, and now it's Lex Cryptography. The code is law. Law is not code. Code is law.
Very nice said. Okay, and tell me how this metaverse is going to work.
Okay, generally speaking, this is not just a metaverse. For example, in June, we are launching MetaCourt with our game theory-based dispute resolution mechanism together with agreement part. But this metaverse, whoever user who has a kind of legal disputes with another Web3 users, then they need to have a means for dispute resolution, arbitration. And the thing is that, you know, legal systems in world are overburdened with paper-based processes. They have lackluster transparency. Existing procedures are time-consuming. They are heavily reliant on physical presence and close proximity. And legal professionals all around the world, most of them, they have no understanding of Web3. So, but there are a lot of Web3 dispute arising. So our metaverse, we believe that is an answer to all this. Our metaverse project is an answer to all these problems and pain points. And we believe MetaCourt metaverse with multi legal services that cover A to Z of legal needs, from agreement to counseling to, for example, you have an NFT project and you don't know what to do with your tax. Okay, you can use from metaverse. You have dispute, you may use virtual arbitration with avatar. You have you don't know what to do. You have no understanding of Web3. There is a crypto school for education. So this is like a metaverse, but with real use case, because for now, every metaverse project was about game, but there was no real use case in metaverse. And we believe MetaCourt as a legal metaverse is a road to mass adoption for a legal project or metaverse project, because they need to have a real use case that solve people daily problems.
I think we start, the industry start with the left foot with NFTs and metaverse, and now the mainstream idea, it is wrong. For example, NFTs, in my opinion, have a very high value because you can use them in various ways to prove ownership. Metaverse, it is like you create an Amazon with legal services, with legal court. You don't need to go to a building. You don't need to use only the lawyer that you have in proximity. So metaverse, it is a digital world, and we are building more and more products that are digital, that are based on Web3. And
yes.
The mentality will change. I think in the next bull market, people will shift. They will stop.
And that is exactly that. Let me share the same concern with you. And people need to stop thinking metaverse as something just about childish game and some, this style. It is going to be kind of a new work religion, a new work ethics, and it is going to have major disruption. I know what mainstream thinks, but it's time to give the metaverses real use cases.
For me as a developer of Web3, because I'm building also a marketplace for real people, I will be one of the users of these kind of services. I will integrate in the website. And
thank you so much.
Because people will switch crypto to assets and goods or land or car or watches, and they will need escrow. They will need. Can you tell me, not very fast but not very slow, what are the first components of the metaverse in the legal way?
The first component of our metaverse, in a legal way, is our Legopio towers. There are 4 towers that one of them is a virtual court, and others are for lawyers, law faculties, legal departments, legal entities, like digital offices and digital lands. For them, in order to have chance to just have transition from Web 2 to Web 3, or have a digital transformation. This is the first component. But apart from metaverse, in June, when we are launching our dispute resolution mechanism together with escrow, also together with marketplace for agreements, will be launched in June.
And how is this project going to work from legal point of view? For example, the judge and the legal people that will do services, they have to be real lawyers, with the real background?
No. The thing is that MetaCourt, what we are doing is democratizing access to legal services. So in these cases, we have 6 courts. Court of GameFi, Court of DeFi, Court of Metaverse and Decentralized Social Media, Court of Freelancing, Court of Listing and Exchange, and also a General Court. For example, for Freelancing Court, people need to have knowledge assessment. We do allow for panelists or judges to just pass an exam or test that just assess their knowledge. So for freelancing court, most of the knowledge that they are going to be assessed are about design or about like the expertise related to freelancing. For the GameFi project, for the GameFi court, the people who are judged or who are going to be the panelists, they are some people who understand GameFi. They are not like 65 years old judge that graduated law in 1995 and has no understanding of Web3. And arbitration is not something new. We have arbitration from like centuries. Any people, every people in the world may choose arbitration as a means of their potential disputes. And this is when a story for MetaCourt begins.
I understand. And what it is your roadmap?
Okay, our roadmap, we just started on May 2022. And the good thing that happened to us is that, you know, every Web3 project in the first year, they are looking for partnership. They are looking for a strong partner to support them. And one thing that we didn't expect, but happened to us, is that we are now in both IBM and Microsoft Accelerator program. So for IBM, there is a program called Hyper-Protect Acceleration Program. It's a 2-year. It's just started 3 months ago. So we have like IBM as a supporter and backer, and they gave us 120,000 cloud credit. But for the Microsoft, in 2 weeks ago, we became a business partner with Microsoft, and now we are in their startups hub. So it's a program for founders of startups. So we have both, I mean, Microsoft and IBM as supporters. We have our testnet scheduled for 17th of January. Our major launch and our IEO is supposed to take place on June 2023, and also other services. We have 16 services or legal services. In June, we have like the launch with 3 of them. Then every 3 months, we are going to just have a launch for a new service. So it's like we are going to have or add our customers, you know, every 3 months with new services. So this is how we believe that the court token is going to be a sustainable token, because we are going to have different services within a 5 years period.
And a very important question that now, you know, because we are in the bear market, people are looking, how is the tokenomics? How is the finance idea of this platform? How the people will benefit?
Okay, to me, I was working as a crypto lawyer. I was like advising to many projects, but most of the time, what I was witnessing was there was no real DAO. Real DAO, I mean, everywhere people are saying DAO, DAO now. But what is real DAO is a tokenomics that is community driven, and if the project has some profit or income, the users are also included. For this purpose, in MetaCourt, kind of for the first time, we are doing to introduce our algorithmic revenue share plan, because we gave up on 30% of our all utilities income for the sake of community, because for community, just increase the price of token is not a safe investment. Most of the time, they want to have a sustainable project that they have supported that is good in bear market, in the, I mean, bull market, a whole year. So MetaCourt, 42% of our all tokens are reserved for the DAO. So basically, the team is not the one who decide on their usage. And also for the revenue share plan, you know, so our users or our community of token holders and land plot holders and also active users are going to be benefited from the passive income model that we introduced to the community, that is called algorithmic revenue share, with the MCVP concept, MetaCourt value power, that is a point for revenue share and also for voting. And we believe that our tokenomics is really a tokenomics compatible with concept of community tree, you know, because we need to now to embrace the concept of community tree. After people losing many money on Luna, on FTX, and many projects. We need to embrace people. We need to ensure that their investment is safe. And we try to just do that in our mechanism design in the part of tokenomics.
And what are the main goals that you have for this project, like in the next 3 years?
Okay, first, MetaCourt want to design a first on-chain jurisdiction for Web3 legal stuff. We call it like Meta Convention, a single harmonized legal piece that all digital or Web3 users may just look it as something as a consensus or for the legal. The second part, we want to be justice protocol for the internet and Web3, where people need to ensure that every metaverse, NFT, and blockchain disputes are going to be resolved in an on-chain, fast and reliable and affordable and accessible manner. And the third one is to create the first meta law school with the concept of learn and earn. So people may come there to be educated, and then they might earn by participating or as a mediator or arbitrator in platform. And the fourth vision is to improve access to justice in Web3. People all around the world, they have lost hope and confidence in justice system around the world. We cannot expect our regulators to build justice protocol for us as a Web3 users. It's time for us to build our justice system on our own, from community for community. And that's what we believe that MetaCourt is going to do in 5 years.
Yeah, it is a very nice plan. And what about users? What is the plan for the, like, you go live next week? Let's say in 1 year from now, how you see the project growing?
Yes, generally speaking, you know, as I said, the MetaCourt is not a project with a solo service or one service. We have multi-services, we have different legal services with different people as a service provider and different audiences. For the people who has dispute, it has one audience. It's one audience, and for the people who need legal counseling or need a contract, for example, you want to have a contract for your platform with a Solidity developer. You don't know where to get your agreement. No lawyers know how the Solidity work and what are the obligations for the Solidity developer. So what does it mean? What I mean is that in the next year, we believe that the services will launch. We are going to have like 5 services by the next year. So we believe that these services are having a lot of audiences. For example, for legal, first Meta Law School, just as an example, if you ask every law student, when they graduated from law school, they know nothing about how to practice or how to make money in real world. So we believe that legal traditional education system is broke. So what we are, for example, introducing there is like first Meta Law School. So what we believe is that as we have different services, so we have a plural and a diverse audiences that could be MetaCourt users. So we believe that next year the project is listed in top tier exchange due to its huge amount of users.
Except Microsoft and the other one, what?
IBM.
IBM. What other partners you have right now?
Okay, it's for the partnership part. We have Village Capital. Village Capital is a US-based venture fund. So we are in their business. We are in their investment readiness incubation program that is also 3rd month. And for example, in 26th of June, they are facilitating a pitch for me to more than 200 investors. So we have like Village Capital as partner. Also, there are some other Web3 projects. For example, there is a project codename Renegades. This is like GameFi game. You know, it's a like GameFi project. So Web3 game. So we are going to be there on-chain mediator and arbitrator. Also, there are other Web3 projects. For example, we are negotiating and closing some MOUs with Nebula freelancing platform and other also Web3 projects that we are closing deals. So also there is a legal project called Web3 Lex. It's a legal knowledge database for Web3. Also, we are making partnership with them. Also, Lex DAO, the first legal engineering guild, and the DAO, we are also working with them to make a partnership. So we are going to, the Q1 of 2023 is going to be a lot of partner. We predict that we are going to have more than 20 partner by the end of the Q1. Also Heritage, for example, network, we are making some partnership with them for community of Romania. Also, there are other story about about other countries too.
And can you tell me about little that for people to understand about the tokenomics?
Okay, for sure. Generally, let me just open the. Generally, we have a very diverse tokenomic plan, you know, but the thing is that we try to just 17% of all tokens belong to the team and corporation behind the team. So 5% is for advisors. So we have reserved like 12% for the seed, 3% was for the pre-seed that we sold them all in the May 2020, and we raised 150K. Also, there are 5% for public sale, reserved for public sale. There are 5% for advisors. Also, there are 5% for liquidity that is reserved. 42% of all is reserved for the DAO treasury. Also, 9% of all tokens belong to the community in the form of like community and reward fund. So this is like the simple tokenomics. We issued the token on Solana, but as I mentioned earlier, we have a multi-chain approach considering Solana, Aptos blockchain, Polygon, Avalanche, and Optimism layer 2 EVM compatible protocol. So this is the tokenomics. I mean, and also each category has a vesting and unlocking plan for 3 years. So, and even if you check the project now, less than 2% of all tokens already is, you know, circulating, and that's belong to the pre-seed investors. So this is something about the tokenomics, because we believe even you have a good project, an amazing team, with a bad or with a negligent, neglected tokenomics, every project may fail. So we really try to build the tokenomics on the concept of to be community driven, to be governable by the DAO, and it is a kind of transparent for the whole community.
Amazing. I want to ask you if you have a specific message for the Romanian crypto lovers.
Okay, most of the time, you know, when we're talking about developing countries and the people who are in Web3, you know, in developing countries, the projects are earned harder than, you know, like developed countries. So what I have as a message to Romanian community is that I believe that all of you, you know, you want to invest on a project that has like a decent ROI for you. And for me, I am working and I am like trading and I am like gaining profit and also losing in Web3 from 2013. I understand you. I believe what you are looking for. And in our case, in MetaCourt, we really tried to build a community-driven project. And honestly, we didn't know where to start. So when we made partnership with Heritage Network and it came out that Romania as a developing country is going to be the first step for our fundraising or our community building, the step. So I was really, I was really happy because generally the rate of the crypto users in Romania is higher than many countries. And I just want to assure your community that we really believe in concept of Web3, and we believe that Web3 was not supposed to make us rich, rather than to make stuff more efficient. And we believe that with making stuff more efficient in a legal world, our multi-utility token is a good, piece of financial thing to invest on. And that's, what I want to, transfer to community. Also, the second thing is that MetaCourt is an impact-driven project. It's for the good of the community. It's the good of blockchain. It's like democratize. It's like this, is increasing access to justice. So we can't do something impactful without help of communities. So please support us in on Heritage Network. Our token is listed. So if you are investor in Web3 project that has real utility, has a good team to work on, and has a transparent roadmap with prominent and powerful backers, MetaCourt is there for you.
Moha, thank you very much for this interview. I wish you best of luck with this project. I believe very strong in the need of legal services faster and better than existing ones now. I hope that the bear market will end and projects like yours will grow and will develop. And I'm sure no matter what, if it is bear market, bull market, you will continue the hard work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for us, bearish market was building market. So yeah, we are building, and support us, guys. And we are here, to build something incredibly unique for Web3, and we need support. That's all. And thank you, Daniel, for what you are doing, generally educating people in Web3. We need more educator out there, and also for what you are doing in case of interviewing with projects that are impactful, that are good for the blockchain community. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Good luck.
Pleasure. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Bună ziua, dragă comunitate Heritage Network! Din partea echipei noastre îți dorim la mulți ani, un an nou mai bun, mai liniștit, cu mai multă pace și cu mai multă prosperitate. Mai multă prosperitate decât în anul 2022. Îi mulțumim prietenului nostru Mihai Daniel pentru review-ul profesionist pe care l-a făcut proiectului MetaCourt. Ce este MetaCourt? Este proiectul aflat la seed financing pe platforma Heritage Network până la sfârșitul lunii ianuarie 2023. Așa cum și CEO-ul proiectului a arătat, este un metaverse juridic susținut de IBM și Microsoft. Da, ați auzit bine, IBM și Microsoft, și vă mai spun un secret, în curând de un mare fond de investiții din Dubai. Toată lumea a auzit de țepele, prăbușirile, exploiturile din cripto în anul 2022, FTX, Celsius, Terra Luna. Cred că ar fi timpul să se cam termine cu aceste lucruri care nu fac bine lumii cripto. Iată de ce este nevoie de mai mulți profesioniști ai dreptului în această lume sălbatică. Trebuie reguli, trebuie siguranță și aici intervine MetaCourt. Proiectele și contractele din viața reală vor fi dublate de smart contracts și profesioniștii dreptului la niște prețuri mult mai mici decât în viața reală vă vor putea ajuta să vă soluționați diversele dispute, scăzând astfel numărul țepelor contractuale. Ca o paranteză, pot să spun că unul dintre cofondatori este cel mai bun avocat Web3 din Europa. Cu mândrie pot să spun că mă număr și eu printre advisorii acestui proiect. Mai multe detalii pe grupul lor de Telegram. Și iată, proiectul MetaCourt, care este susținut de acești monștri ai industriei IT, ne-a ales pe noi pentru că, spre deosebire de alte proiecte, Noi am livrat toate produsele înainte de roadmap și vă oferim în continuare multe surprize plăcute. Astfel, platforma de staking as a service este alive și toți vrem să facem bani în această perioadă de bear market, nu? Dacă aveți cunoștință despre proiecte cripto care doresc să facă staking la cel mai mic preț din Europa și de ce nu din lume, aveți șansa să câștigați un comision de până la 25%, da, până la 25%. Mai multe detalii pe grupul nostru de Telegram. Și la final, dar nu în ultimul rând, am fost aleși de ONG-ul SOS Satele Copiilor, un ONG global cu prezență în 136 de state și jurisdicții, să lanseze primul lor proiect NFT, unde altundeva decât pe Heritage Universe. Haideți să fim buni într-o lume din ce în ce mai egoistă și să ajutăm copiii cumpărând un NFT de pe Heritage Universe. În final, vreau să vă mulțumesc pentru că sunteți alături de noi în acest drum lung și greu pe care nu l-am fi putut parcurge fără ajutorul dumneavoastră. Dragă Mihai Daniel, îți mulțumim încă o dată pentru susținerea pe care o arăți proiectului Heritage Network, încă de pe vremea când proiectul Heritage Network nu reprezenta nimic și nu uitați de runda de financing, seed financing a proiectului MetaCourt. Vă mulțumesc tuturor!